email maybe. And maybe I was a little, yesterday was such a weird day. I mean, I know we didn't have to test like you guys, but for us too, just sitting there like that long, like, I mean, that's not my gig, is just sitting in a desk for like 7 hours. So, okay. So guys, let's look at the next one. So again, I want you guys to start thinking about either this or this. So the 6 and 2 or the 5 and 3, which one would be easier to change so something would cancel? Now I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second here. 5 and 3. 3 can't become 5 by multiplication. So I'd have to change both 3 and 5. So I'd probably not use that one. But 6 and 2, 2 can easily become a 6 by multiplying by 3. But remember, we like them to be opposite signs. So what are we going to do to that bottom row? Multiply it by a negative 3. Very good. So this whole bottom row will get multiplied by negative 3. Now, I like rewriting the whole problem just so that I have them nice and lined up. If you don't need to, that's fine. So I wrote the first equation. That one doesn't change. The bottom one, though, I multiply everything by negative 3, including the other side of the equal sign. That's probably the part that everyone misses on these. So negative 5, or sorry, 5 minus 9 is a negative 4. 19 minus 15 is 4. So I'm ready to get my y alone, so I'm going to divide by negative 4. And I find out y is negative 1. Once I know that, then I still have to go back and find that other variable. So I have to go back and put that y back in and to find my x. So I don't have a ton of room here, but hopefully I can fit it in. So 2x plus 3 times negative 1 equals 5. 2x minus 3 equals 5. So 2x equals 8. And then I'm going to divide by 2. So x ends up being 4. So we'll look at the last couple. Here. And maybe we'll just do one of the bottom two, because these are a little bit tougher. So both of these are a little bit tougher. Yeah, let's maybe just do one of them. And you might be thinking we don't have homework because there's nothing listed there. Actually, a worksheet for you today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. My students used to always love getting worksheets versus bookwork. I don't know, but it's a worksheet instead of book today. So let's look at number 7. So this one and 7 and 8 are both a little bit tougher. Let's just do 7 and we can be done then. But in terms of 7, looking at it, 4 and 3, 5 and negative 2, I can't multiply 3 by something to get 4. I can't multiply 2 by something to get 5 without using decimals, and we don't want to do that. That's a mess. So this is a case where you're going to have to multiply both equations by something. So, between 4 and 3 or 5 and 2, what jumps out at you guys in terms of what they can become? What can 4 and 3 become? 12. How about 5 and 2? 10. So they both can become something pretty reasonably, but we have to multiply both equations. I guess I lean towards working with the middle one because it's already a positive and a negative, but if you prefer to use the first two, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these 10 and negative 10. And again, I like that one because it's already positive and negative for me. Bless you. So I'm going to multiply the top row by, I'm doing 10 and negative 10. What am I multiplying the top row by? 2. And how about the bottom row? to getting a common denominator. So this becomes 8x and 10y, but don't forget to multiply by the 35, which I know is not nice, it's 70. Down here, this becomes 15x. We might need a calculator on this one, some big numbers here. I get 45. And I always found these numbers kind of, these types of problems kind of bizarre that like then they ended up working out to be nice numbers. Kind of crazy how that works out, but it does. It could be a decimal, but I don't think these are. And this is 115, I believe. I divide by 23. Do I get 5? That is. Yeah. So again, kind of bizarre how that works out, that I could end up with these huge numbers and then end up with this really nice answer that's not a decimal. So again, we still need to find that other variable. And like I said, we're just going to do this one problem and we'll be done with the rest of the notes. But if you wanted another example, I can show it to you. But 3 times 5 minus 2y equals 9. So I'm going back to the problem before I changed it. That way I'm working with smaller numbers. And then I'm going to divide by -2. What's your deal over there? He bit me this morning. All right, so we get 30 for our y value. All right, so I'm going to get you guys a worksheet for this. If for some reason you lose the worksheet, there is like a digital copy, an electronic copy online. You can always do this, like if you're at home tonight, you're like, oh man, I left that worksheet at home. You can always do this on loose leaf. So those people online, if you don't have a printer, you can always do this just like on loose leaf is fine. Please use the directions they give you. So they ask you to do substitution, they ask you to do graphing. The back side is the new stuff, the elimination. So hopefully there's enough space. I always try to make sure there is, but sometimes it looks better on the printer than it looks better on the computer than it shows up on the printer. You could give one to, oh no, go that way. We'll go, Nicholas. I didn't think Hope's arm was long enough. So worksheet today. Like I said, my students used to love getting worksheets over, well, for, I don't know. The size of worksheet. Yeah. Then I feel like we got shamed for printing too much stuff. Right. So like I was, yeah. Paper shame you. Yeah. Ooh, yikes. So worksheet online.